Good afternoon, folks. This is Deb. Today we're going to talk some demographics surrounding this election, okay? So first of all, let's talk about non-voters. 90 million people did not bother to vote in the United States in this election. Now, you're all sitting back there thinking you had nothing to vote for? Well, you did. You're thinking you didn't have a choice? Well, you did. You had a choice. Here's the choice. And we've been saying this for 2 years. You had a choice between democracy and you had a choice between fascism. You chose not to participate. I do not want to hear you complain. I really don't. That's the first demographic I want to get off the table. Then let's talk about women. I know some women voted down ballot to protect abortion rights. Good on you. But didn't bother to vote for the presidency. Or voted for Donald Trump. Even more insane. An adjudicated rapist. A defamer, a criminal, a man who has absolutely no respect for women whatsoever on any level, a man who vows to be your protector, whether you want it or not. That means your controller, whether you want it or not, because Donald Trump will sign a national abortion ban, and then all of the good you thought you did will be gone. And by the way, even if you did vote down ballot and he left it in the states, think about the fact that you couldn't rally around your sisters who are bleeding out in parking lots in red states, being arrested and charged criminally for having a miscarriage. It is happening. Think about children who are being raped and or having relatives commit incest and have no alternative but to bear a child. Children bearing children. Children bearing children born of violence. Think about all of that. And then I want you to think about something else. The top 4 slots that Donald Trump is choosing people to represent the government on, hold on a second, have credible accounts of sexual abuse against them, starting with the President of the United States. He is an adjudicated rapist, period. None of you had a problem with any of that, did you? That speaks volumes. But then we also have Matt Gaetz being elevated to the highest law enforcement position in the land, even as he's being investigated for sex trafficking minor women. We have Peter Hegseth, Secretary of Defense, first of all, a Fox newscaster. Spare me, okay? A man who also paid off a woman who accused him of sexual abuse. And even though he denies it, I don't know anybody who is innocent who pays people off. I'm sorry. I just don't. Okay? And then we have RFK Jr., who was accused by a babysitter of sexually abusing her. He apologized to her via text, even though he doesn't remember doing it, because he was probably high on heroin that day, or the worm had already eaten part of his brain. I'm not quite sure how that worked out. But, we can all just take heart by the fact that he had the decency to send her a text apology. These are the class of people that Donald Trump is bringing into our government. And if you guys think this is just normal, there's really something wrong here in America that goes way beyond who's running for office. And now let's address the Latinos who voted for Trump, thinking that he was going to be better for them than, say, the Democrats. Donald Trump has announced today that he will use the military to deport those people he considers illegal. And by the way, if you happen to be here from Haiti or anywhere else on a legitimate work visa, he's going to include you as well. He does not care. This tag will be about $660 billion by the time he's done. And he will have taken the backbone of the American economy out of the picture. He will take away the people who pick your crops, who work in your food facilities. He will take away the people who build and paint your houses, the people who are fixing your roads, building your bridges. He's taking all of that away. And if you don't think that's going to have an effect on the American economy, you're about to find out that it actually will. So here we are in the gray zone. Nobody really knows what's going to happen. If you're sitting there saying, well, we'll get rid of him the next time, there might not be a next time. The best we can do now is mobilize for the midterms And by then, I'm sure there'll be plenty of people feeling the pain of another Donald Trump presidency. And maybe we can start wresting this government away from fascism, because actually what fascism is exactly what Donald Trump is doing. He will take away worker protections. Um, he will take away overtime. That's part of all of Project 2025. He will take away all of that. And he will make sure that the people who benefit the most from his policies are the top 1%. And he will make sure that he is in office again, where he used that as a cash cow for his own personal wealth the first time around by violating the emoluments clause. He has refused to sign the ethics clause. He hasn't signed it yet. And he's going to use our government to ingratiate himself and his family once again. Once again, only this time he'll help others with him. The Elon Musks of the world, the RFK Juniors of the world, the Vivek Ramaswamis, the Peter Thiels. Anybody who wants to think that the Republicans are the party of the middle class and the Democrats are the party of the rich needs to think again. The billionaires have pretty much bought this government for Donald Trump. And as soon as the American people wake up, we may be able to rectify some of this. But then again, maybe not. I'll talk to you all later.